Hello, I've just got this LED, 20 watt LED. I asked for a heatsink which they sent me. You need a heatsink with these, by the way, and it did come with this sort of power supply unit which basically input AC can take anywhere, well it says from 90 to 264, you'll have to excuse my fingernails here, 0.6 of an amp there, and the output is DC 20 to 36, 650 milliamps, give or take 5%, 20 watt max, 20 watt LED. But what I basically wanted to show you here is, I put these markings on, by the way, these like felt tip markings, but there's a little H up there, and there was like a negative stamped into the plastic just very slightly, and a positive this side. Well, I thought, which side is positive and which side is negative, because the negative symbol was on here and the positive side symbol is in a way on this side, and obviously the back in a way is like a heatsink and ground, if you like. Normally it's these tabs here which are positive or negative. Well, to cut a long story short, I did a test with my multimeter various places. I'll just show you that. This is my Vinci VC99. It's on ohms. Let me just tip that up a bit because I think you'll see better. Yep. And basically I did from one side to another because I was going to try and get the polarity. It seemed to be like, I won't show you too much because there's no point. It seemed to be like it was jumping on here, well, almost starting quite high and then going down. But then when I looked at this, I thought, well, this section here, is that connected to this? And what I found out is actually it isn't. That is, this tab, well, almost plate there, is not connected to this metal back. Same on this side. That metal plate there is not connected to this metal back at all. They're separate from each other. And I'll just show you that. If I touch, try and get zoomed in a bit, and so if I touch on in that metal area there and then touch this metal sort of back plate, 0. It doesn't matter if I go over that side, 0. And likewise if I touch the metal back plate over there and touch inside this one, we're getting no ohmage, okay? But say if I touch this side, one of these strips there, and then I touch inside here, see, it goes to 0. So like that side, which is near this one, is positive, okay? And let's turn this around a bit. This one, which was near this negative sign over here, remembering that I put those marks on, so they're a bit hard to see, you will have to look carefully. Just a little like line raised in the plastic. And if I touch there, again we're getting to 0. So that, in a way, this, so what we've got there is almost like this metal part there connects up to the tab up there, and this metal part there connects to this tab over here, but it doesn't connect to the back. And the positive symbol, again stamped in the plastic, I think it, just a second, I think it was down here, yeah it was, that a little positive symbol almost raised in the plastic on here is to that side, and the negative one symbol that was on there is raised, well, the negative symbol that is raised is near that one. So then it's to find out which one that goes to which tab to make sure. Always make sure, because you don't want to, because you will damage the LED unit if it goes wrong. So we know that's negative over there, well we hope it is. Okay, and we know this one over this side, got that in, is going to that one which was near this positive symbol, okay? And again this earth, in a way the back plate does not connect to either of these two. So now, that's why I put these marks on. We know that that side is positive. We know that in a way this one with the two holes is negative. I haven't got a red felt tip pen, need to get one, so I just marked in green on there and then black sort of over there. So that's the black side, this is the positive side. I'll just show you this heat sink. If you hear, that's my cat, she's wanting to jump, I don't know what she wants. I think she wants to jump up on me. Zoom back out. Looks like quite a good heat sink, quite big. You need a good heat sink because these can pump out a lot of heat. Usually they don't throw the heat forward at whatever you're directing the light at. They're pretty good like that, but they do get a lot of heat with all the LEDs, which you might just not make out inside there. Some of the LEDs. Just a second, because I'm under. My cat's just jumped up on me, and there she goes. You might see her walking past, getting up. Okay, get very hot. So I want to get some silicone paste on there. Clag this up, solder it up, and I'm going to try it out even before I drill any holes in here and bolt it down. Okay, and I'll come back when I've basically done most of that. But that's how I found out which was negative or positive, because if you just look at the symbols that were on here, let's turn it this way up, so that a positive there, negative there, obviously this side doesn't, it's not near, or even that negative, that positive symbol in the way, whichever one it was, is also near that. So that is the only way I managed to find out which way around it goes. I'll try and show you around. Excuse nails, doing some dirty work. Okay, I should have cleaned my nails before I started filming, but I'm going to be doing some more dirty work probably almost straight after this. It's quite thin. I'll put some details down below. Anyway, right, this is very square, this, the whole unit, although the LEDs are laid out in that way. So I wanted somewhere near the centre when I put it on here, and then I think that way, because it's a little bit like longer that way, to spread the heat as evenly as possible. This might still need a fan on, but as I say, I'll come back. I just wanted to show you which one is which. Right, there we are. So the best way I've found to do this is just put a bit drop of solder on there, take off the soldering iron, let it cool, put a drop of solder on there to like wet it, let it cool. I think these wires are already tinned, and then stick them on, solder them on, one at a time, letting them cool, because you're only allowed about 5 seconds or so that you can really hold a soldering iron on these sort of LED units. Right, I'm just about to plug it in here. So I've got this is the positive lead going to the multimeter. Talk about the multimeter down here. And I know this is red, but I haven't really got any black like clip-on leads going obviously to the negative of the multimeter. Get all plugged in and that. So we'll be able to see, well, hopefully this won't dazzle the camera out. We'll be able to see the voltage output of this unit when I plug it in, and it should obviously come on. Now I have just basically got some silicone paste underneath that, just some basic cheap silicone paste, obviously not bolted down yet, but pressed quite firmly and ready to go. This is like stuck down here with some blue tack. Don't worry, it's not plugged in yet. And then hopefully this won't dazzle the camera too much when I plug it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we are. Let me just put my hand over that so hopefully you can see the voltage. It's saying about 30 volts there. Just seeing if that's warm at all. No. There's a little bit of heat does come forward from these. I can feel the warmth. Let's see. From about there. That's about 8 inches. Foot on the thing itself is about 100 millimeters or so away, but after that I can't really feel hardly any heat coming off it, although the heat, these do get hot. It'd be interesting to see how long this will take before it does get, this heat sink here gets hot. Remembering this is just on here, so it's not like totally out in the open. But there you are, you get a look at the light. I imagine this is nearly all electronics. It looks like it's well potted here. Aluminium seems to be on the outside there. Quite good stuff, this blue tack. Sometimes it sticks very strong. You get just right. So AC mains into here. And then DC output. Over here. Obviously got positive and negative. Seems like quite a good unit. I'll have to see how long I can keep it on this heatsink without a fan on and see how long it takes to sort of, because eventually the heat will build up in the aluminium heatsink, although having the fins will possibly help, but without any airflow it'll be interesting to find out. So I want that somewhere in the centre, and then I'll screw that in and I'll come back when I've done that. There we are. I've just like bolted this on, although I only put one nut on because the fins actually grip the bolts to a large extent. I've just blue tacked that on and blue tacked this terminal strip on. That's main, so I have to be very careful. But I'll put it on and I'll show you. Obviously got my other light connected up at the moment. Oops. Make sure that's in, yeah. Yeah. And it is brighter than I was I'll turn this off and turn this other light off. Let me give this down here. I've just done like a pulley fix on this gym, so you get an idea how bright it is. About a metre away there. What I have to do now is see how long it's going before it starts getting hot. So I'm going to get my multimeter back on here because it has a thermometer thing on it, and then I'll see. So, yeah, LEDs are generally very bright when you're looking into them, but when they shine forward they're generally not too bright. So I'll hold about 2 meters away almost there from this like computer desk, and it gives quite a bit of light, seems like quite an even light. You have to constantly be careful of that high voltage around there. Okay. Right, it's been approximately half an hour, it's about 8 o'clock. We're getting up to, well, I would say 45 there. So it's getting, you know, near to a temperature where I wouldn't want it to be. That is quite warm, and the heat at the edges is pretty warm, yeah. This is now, this sort of transformer, well, it's not really voltage reduction unit, is warm. I'm hoping that's just the heat actually of the heat sink and not getting warm in itself. Still shining bright. That's with it stood up like this. If you had it laid like this, maybe more heat would almost get trapped in the fins and it would get hotter. So I think it's certainly going to need a fan on. Now, the problem with putting a fan on is the voltage of the fan. Because I think this is about 30 volts, if I remember right, that we were getting on there. Going to the LED. Right, I'm going to turn the other lights I have off so we can get an idea. Oh, that's my cat. She sat on my knee, you might just see her here. Right. I mean, it's not too bad a light, I think. I think it make it quite a good fill-in light. It seems to cover quite a range. Now what I want to do actually is have this on. Now we'll turn this other big light I've got on, and you can see the, I think you might see the colour difference there, that this one is more warm white, whereas this is pure white. I think I did ask for a pure white one. I thought it might be better than having a warm white. Okay, so I would probably recommend that there is a fan fitted on here. That's one of the problems with these, is the heat output. Not heat forward, like if I put my hand about there, I can't even really feel it. When I get about 2 or 3, 4 inches away, about 50 millimeters or so, then I can start to feel the heat off the bulb. But even there, I could easily hold my hand there without it really getting hot, and that's, I would say, the main advantage, well, one of the main advantages with these is that whatever you're shining onto doesn't get hot. I'm reasonably pleased with that. Try and show you a bit in the dark, I know, but let's put my other light on. So I would say that's, yeah, that's pretty warm, that heatsink here. It certainly doesn't want anything covering over the fins on this heatsink. That's one of the problems if you do screw this or stick this on there somehow, is that that's going to cover over the end, that other edge of this fin to a certain extent. I mean, probably won't make that much difference. Right, be careful of those mains wires. There you are. I'm happy enough with that, and obviously you want some work done to it to make it safe. That's best wishes from Films for You.